there's going to be a little bit, and he's on your right-hand side. The control decks are going to have a little bit of more leeway for one of these and one of that. He has 2 Lilianas, a Jace, a Sorin, and a Karn all main, 3 copies of Snapcaster Mage, and then sort of your expected smattering of counters and control cards. 2 Curses, which is pretty much the industry standard. 2 main deck copies of Blackstone Zenith, so he has a bit more game against Thrun and some of those other threat cards than a lot of the other blue-black or Esper control decks we've seen on camera.
Along with Liliana as well.
Yes.
So, he also, the one card that sort of stands out to me in his list is he actually has 2 copies of Thought Scour, which I imagine is to give him more ability to get value out of his Snapcasters, and more ability to dig too. But
it's also nice for these blue-black decks to have something to do on turn 1.
Right.
So he kicks off a Gorge and a Llanowar Elf for Seyssel and a Drowned Catacombs for Kornacki.
So a pair of Gorges and that Llanowar Elf produce Green Zenith for 2, which gets a Strong Group, guys, which is one of the more problematic cards for blue-black control.
Yes.
So this matchup is definitely one of the tougher ones for blue-black control, and really, we saw blue-black control sort of rise to the top in Grand Prix Baltimore, which was ultimately won by Matt Costa playing Delver. But the top 8 there, and many of the top players in that tournament were all sort of on blue-black control. Then Red-Green became very popular, as well as Zombies, sort of in the wake of that tournament as sort of reactions to blue-black control, and the popularity of blue-black has fallen as a result. So those that Stranger Geist, is that a game day one or FNM one?
Yeah,
or
something like that. Also, Kornacki with a Drown Yard on turn 2, which might represent he does not have a 3rd land.
Yeah, that's generally not what you want to be playing.
It is an indicator.
Early. It seems he drew not a land.
Looks like we might be discarding.
All right, we're casting Think Twice. And drawing a land.
Ooh.
Good thing we thought twice.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 times.
Once. Twice.
my sort of physical comedy there.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate.
It doesn't translate just on the microphone.
All right, so Yurien has free reign this turn to cast whatever he wants. And
it is.
Is it nothing?
It better not be nothing.
What's he got in his hand?
All right.
He just didn't cast.
He got a bird.
All right. What is
bird, a land?
I mean, he can cast any card in his deck. Literally any card he could have cast that turn.
So Kornacki casting Forbidden Alchemy main phase again, trying to just hit his land drops here.
I mean, Yurien has clearly shown he has nothing threatening to resolve. So there's really no penalty to tapping his land during his own turn.
Yeah, I think he's got to have
nothing. Must have just like a bunch of burn, maybe. Ooh, there's a Garruk.
Yeah,
that was clearly not in his hand when he took his last turn. So we're gonna see.
I mean, maybe he has a Red Zenith in his hand.
It's possible, yeah. He has. I mean, it's possible he has Red Zenith. It's possible he has like Galvanic Blast. But Garruk,
Daddy,
was a card he definitely wanted to draw that turn. If I could have chosen a card in his deck to draw that turn, that would be it.
Right. Typically that or Green Zenith for Thrun.
Or the other Garruk.
Yeah.
Big Garruk, small Garruk, or yeah. I mean, a sword would have been pretty gross, but Garruk is a sword may have actually ended the game.
Fire, yeah.
maybe sword is best.
And Kornacki's just drawn another 5-mana spell, so he's
in some trouble.
He has spent the game doing literally nothing.
Figuratively, literally.
Literally nothing.
So Kornacki,
another
Forbidden Alchemy. It's not bode well for his chances.
So Seysel's going to untap here. Kornacki probably representing a Doomblade of some sort.
It looks like Yurien's hand is actually just a Galvanic Blast, a bird and land.
So we'll get the easy part of the turn out of the way.
Yeah, we're going to kill... Alright, he's going to kill that because he wants to be able to Black Sun Zenith.
Yeah.
So Jonathan takes 4 damage, dropping to 5 life. And it looks like he's going to draw 3 cards. Or
no,
he's making another guy. Alright.
I kind of like draw 3 as a hedge against getting Black
I like draw 3 there better than I like.
Because if he doesn't draw a creature next turn, then it's just like all you're doing is
the game's over if you're actually getting to connect with all your dudes.
Right.
So Jonathan is Batterskull.
Yeah, so it's Batterskull versus Black Zenith. Does Batterskull even let him survive the turn?
Batterskull.
I guess so, because he's casting it. Yeah.
Probably figured it out. He takes 7, gains 4. So actually, the Galvanic Blast kills him.
Now,
so.
yeah.
And there's another land for Yurien, so it looks like, yeah, if he just sends everything, the game's over. He could just draw cards first. He wants to really,
just rub it in.
I mean, it's just, the math is just he's dead, right? If Jonathan's in fact at 5.
You
definitely want to take your time and double check.
Yeah, 3, 6, 7 going to 9, -2, yeah.
So, yeah. Player. And that's game. So not a tremendously interesting game one. Both players did very little. Jonathan stalled on land, Yurien stalled on spells, as it were.
Yeah, but Seyssel did a little bit less nothing than...
Well, he cast a Planeswalker.
Yeah.
When both players are doing nothing and one of them casts a Planeswalker, the player who's casting a Planeswalker tends to win.
Yeah.
Because Planeswalkers cast their own spells.
So looking at the... going over to the board here, I do not recognize some of the cards in Kornacki's sideboard, so I'll pass it over to you.
Before that, we do have a contest. We have a trivia question.
Oh yeah.
We have to ask a trivia question for. It's going to be good for 3 months of StarCityGames.com.
And before you had to do something Twitter oriented. You had to post.
So be sure to post at hashtag SCG Premium with your answer. Okay. Only one person who posts the correct answer with the hashtag SCG Premium will be selected as the winner. So, trivia question.
The trivia question is, earlier we had the privilege of previewing a new card from Avacyn Restored. It is a red miracle card with sort of a Wheel of Fortune text. And the trivia question for 3 months of premium is, what is the name of that card?
Name that card.
Name that card.
So sideboarding.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah. Well, so you don't. I'm guessing you don't know what increasing confusion is.
Or Witchbane Orb.
Or Witchbane Orb. Okay. Witchbane Orb is the sort of card you wouldn't like. Witchbane Orb is 4 casting cost.
It's like Ivory Mask sort of deal.
Ivory Mask. Yeah.
Okay.
That also destroys all curses attached to you.
Okay.
So
if I, sideboarding.
Were you playing Curse of the Pierce Tart, they'd get that too.
Which has actually been in my sideboard.
I know.
Yes.
I know. That's why I brought it up. So I don't think either of those cards are going to come in here. My guess is that Jonathan wants to bring in his Batterskull, his second Batterskull in his sideboard.
Yeah.
He will likely want to bring in the additional Black Sun Zenith, probably the Ratchet Bomb, and perhaps a pair of Phantasmal Images. I could also see him bringing in Surgical Extraction or Spell Bomb in order to combat Geist.
Okay. So then on the other side of the fence, we have 2 copies of Mana Barbs.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like...
Mana Barbs is just the stone cold killer.
Yeah, if there's any matchup where you want that, it's here. It is possible he wants his Naturalize might be good here. His other Planeswalkers.
Thrun.
Yes, Thrun, yeah. Not Art Trail and not Active Treason.
Yeah, I think the cards that I want here are... Acidic Slime's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Mana Barbs is awesome. Thrun, Garrux, and the other sword, probably. So I'd probably take out the 4 Galvanic Blasts, the Daybreak Ranger. So there's 5 slots. I'd consider taking out maybe a Huntmaster. Maybe I actually kind of like Batterskull.
Any particular reason?
I like Batterskull because it's a potential recurring threat, and that if you play Batterskull and they just Doomblade or whatever, if they don't counter it, it remains like a very significant threat for all of your creatures throughout the rest of the game. So I mean, it's not like an efficient threat, but like you can get your guys through, say, a Consecrated Sphinx, things like that. You don't want to have too many cards that are dependent on having other creatures, but having good enhancement can make your mana creatures more potent. And that's one of the issues in this matchup is if they, the blue-black deck can kill a bunch of your stuff, it's really important to be able to actually hit for a significant amount of damage with the given play.
But can you win that kind of grindy game? Like even if you okay.
Yeah, I mean Wolf Run does a lot to help you win those sort of games too.
Sure.
So, but yeah, so I mean probably Red Sun Zenith, probably another card that you probably want to take out. So that's 5, 6.
Red Sun Zenith seems sweet.
It's fine. It's just expensive and one of those cards that isn't significantly applying pressure. I can see with the Zenith in maybe, but definitely the Blast for sure come out and the Daybreak for sure.
So Seyssel led off with a turn 1 Forest and a Bird on the draw instead of a Llanowar Elf. What do you think could be the rationale for that?
Well, I think it's actually largely just a mistake. Like he could actually be attacking with an Elf.
Right. This is why I agreed. Would you rather have one get Tragic Slip than the other is a possibility, but it seems like if you're committed to attacking on 2, you just want
right. But he's actually just going to use them both for mana, and he has a Garruk and a Mana Barbs in his hand. So if he doesn't get Black Sun Zenith here, he's in pretty good shape. If he doesn't, so he's going to at least be able to cast one of those spells into a Mana Leak. So,
all right, the guys in the Elf are in.
And 3 mana, Sword. I'm guessing that's not going to resolve.
Yeah, Kornacki has a Mana Leak and a Forbidden Alchemy in his hand, and think twice in his graveyard, so he would ideally not like to leak or counter, use his mana that way if he could avoid it.
So, Yurien here, I think he casts... I mean, between Garruk and Mana Barbs, it's not actually clear which one I'd rather resolve here. Oh, nope, he's just going to cast Green Sun Zenith. That I can see. The other two are pretty backbreaking if they resolve. Yeah. And here, there's a very good chance that if Jonathan does have a Mana Leak, he will Mana Leak this because a second Strangleroot Geist is really difficult for him to deal with.
Right.
So now this it largely indicates the coast is clear. That said,
the risk here is
he's playing Forbidden Alchemy into like a Black Sun Zenith that ends up killing both his mana, and he actually can't cast.
Or a Black Curse. A Black Curse is also a
Black
huge
Curse
risk.
Is really a big deal. So I think I probably would have gone for one of the 4 drops there.
I would have tried to stick a Mana Barbs there. I think.
Because if he doesn't have a counter, the game basically ends when Mana Barb resolves.
And even if he does have a counter, it's like, well, he's doing that instead of flashing back his thing twice or casting Forbidden Alchemy to actually answer the board that you developed.
I mean, even just a Garruk there, I think is
right. Yeah.
Either Garruk or Mana Barbs, I think you want to play over a Strangleroot Geist because he's already cast one Mana Leak. There's not that much counter magic he's going to have in his deck after Cyber.
Yeah, I just don't feel like you can afford to take it slow when there are so many plays that Kornacki can have here that are just devastating.
Yep. Well, that's one of the cards that can actually beat Mana Barbs as well.
Yes.
So Batterskull.
He just drew a green-black sword, but I don't think he can cast it.
Well, he can cast it. He just
can't
cast it.
He can't cast it in Equip. That's what I meant.
So, and there's a Black Sun Zenith in Kornacki's hand.
Yeah. And now Mana Barbs' value has gone
dramatically down.
It is now in the toilet.
So this is one reason that I personally tend to prefer Naya over Red Green Aggro because having access to Oblivion Ring is such a big deal. Being able to have sort of a catch-all answer to whatever it is that your opponent might actually present. If you're playing Red Green, you need to have something like a Grudge in your deck here.
Yeah, and then
having a Grudge in your deck is just so awkward.
Yeah, you're just sort of losing percentage points in a bunch of games when you just have Grudge instead of any other card in your deck, basically.
I mean, like you can play cards like Acidic Slime, but Acidic Slime is just so inefficient at actually dealing with it. You couldn't cast it here.
Yeah.
I think he basically has to cast Garruk here. He can either cast Garruk or he can cast the Black Reed Sword. He actually has to cast the Black Reed Sword because otherwise he's just going to die to that Batterskull. So,
well, can he just send with his 2 Strangleroot Geist? Presumably there's a block, and then he can go Garruk, shoot your Germ.
That does work, but that's possible. He ends up expending his Garruk. Kornacki gains 8 life because he gets
I guess that I guess that doesn't actually.
So that doesn't really seem like it's
actually getting us anywhere. Yeah.
Though I mean, he may end up in a worse spot ultimately for just keeping that Germ around.
I mean, when you're at the spot where your Germ isn't, your Strangleroot Geist aren't attacking, then it might be just time to cash in.
Yeah. I mean, he could also just double block here.
Yep.
I mean, granted, if there's like ooh, is that Volition Reigns? Oh my god.
Daddy needs a grudge right now.
This game is not going how I had sort of thought it was going for the early turns. Yurien stalls on land a little bit.
Still has a good claw.
Hey, I mean, he has a totally reasonable draw, but Kornacki just brickwalled him with that Batterskull, and now the Volition Reigns.
Yeah.
Really,
we're actually going to apply the lock.
Yeah, green-black sword. He's playing Cobblade now. He's actually just playing Cobblade. He has Batterskull and Sword of Feast in having. What's happened in this world? It's taken him slightly more mana to get into play than it did for...
Slightly bigger opportunity cost in deck building. A little bit more mana.
A little bit.
We've still gotten to the finish line. All right, both the Geists are coming in. And now Kornacki actually might not be willing to block because now the Germ is just going to lock it up. Yeah. Now there's no reason to block. So Seyssel trying to figure out how to dig himself out of this one.
So Jonathan, I believe, is actually at 14 life because of his attack last turn with Batterskull. Oh, did he not block this turn?
Yeah, he just let it through.
Okay,
he's not going to risk his.
I didn't know if he was still in his attack step. So yeah, he is at 10. He went to 14, back to 10.
Not to say it was necessarily an error because there's just so many paths you can take with the game, but Mana Barb certainly would have helped against the Batterskull into Volition Reigns curve some amount.
Yeah, it could have changed things around. I mean, Batterskull, he would have been at 5 life after playing Batterskull. Or, no, he would actually, because he would have cast Mana Barbs instead of the second Zenith, he would have been at 7 life with a Batterskull in play. Like, that Batterskull very easily can just win the game from that position. Especially, Kornacki still has a Black Sun Zenith in his hand.
Just the leftovers?
He just still has it all.
So I think Kornacki's just trying to figure out how he wants to use his mana here. I guess he's going to attack and trigger just to make sure it goes through. Probably flashback
flashback. Think twice with the trigger on, or maybe just float the mana and then flashback.
Yeah, still inside of combat. Yeah.
That's something I do not do enough.
What? Connect and then float.
Yeah, float with mana. Yep, and he's flashing with the alchemy. So he has still 5 floating, or 5 up.
Yeah. Maybe Kornacki needs to play with green-black sword. Seems pretty awesome here.
Yeah. If you get your Batterskull, green-black sword.
Highlander control.
Mondo combo. I mean, he's basically just playing Cobblade right now. He's hitting him with a sworded Batterskull token.
There's a green Zenith off the top.
That's not really what he's looking for right now.
The last thing we need is more green creatures. Oh, I think he did discard.
Yeah, he discarded a bird.
We are good on green creatures.
Full up. Don't need any more.
Kornacki's hand, I believe, is a land, 2 Snapcasters, and a Black Zenith.
That's not bad.
Not terrible leftovers, no. Yeah, Seyssel's now at the point where actually his alpha strikes are no longer dealing damage.
Yeah. If he attacks with everything, he does 0, I believe. Oh, there's a creature off screen. I think there's a creature slightly off camera. I can see something.
I believe it's an elf or something. It's the elf from...
yeah, I think you're
however
right.
long ago.
Hellrider. That does damage, but not enough.
I think that Kornacki's just going to Snapcaster Mana Leak here, I would assume.
Yeah.
No reason to risk anything. Probably not going to get a better spot here than countering this Hellrider.
Yep.
If nothing else, it's a red creature, so...
Right. So, yep, snap. Oh, it's just snap, go for the throat set, I think.
Sure.
Still dead. Either way, it does nothing.
So we just have to say go here, right? Like we can't even.
I mean, there's no profitable attack whatsoever. You actually you attack, you sacrifice a creature,
deal no damage.
Deal 0. You lose 2 creatures because he blocks with Snapcaster.
Yeah.
At this point, and you actually give him 2 life. This game, I believe, has gotten to the point that it's pretty much out of reach for Seyssel. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Yurien Seyssel, my guess.
All right, and there's a concession.
All right.
A good choice.
I approve of that concession.
Yeah. So Kornacki wins on the back of Sword and Feast and Famine in Game 2. So if you're Seyssel, now are you thinking now like maybe I should if he didn't bring in Grudge before, are you starting to think like after a game like that?
This is the sort of place where like you think, okay, well maybe I want a Grudge in my deck. I think you definitely want a Slime in your deck.
Yeah.
And on the play, Slime is much better against Batterskull than it is in the draw because you can Zenith for it without necessarily being too far ahead in mana for mana creatures. I imagine the Slime is probably in his deck. I don't know. We didn't see it in that game, but I mean, he did see Batterskull. He didn't see Batterskull in Game 1, did he?
No.
Did he just attack?
Kornacki
Didn't actually cast it.
Kornacki didn't cast anything.
Right.
Of meaning.
Yeah, he only actually searched his deck to find land, basically.
Right.
He just kept looking at the top cards of his deck, putting a land in his hand, and then taking damage. Oh no, wait, he did, right? Because he attacked with all the guys and he's seen Batterskull in both games now, and I mean, if he thinks about it, that probably gives him the impression that Kornacki has at least a reasonable number of Batterskulls, like maybe 2.
Well, the deck lists are actually public once you get to the elimination rounds. They pass out, so they know.
I didn't know whether that was a quarterfinal or semifinal thing.
No, that starts in the quarters. But Kornacki does have a second Batterskull in his sideboard,
right.
So
So I think it's reasonable to maybe have a Grudge in your deck. Like Batterskull is just such a big problem for you.
Yeah.
It seems like something that you might want to have more ways to deal with.
Yeah, certainly. We unfortunately we've been sort of seeing the risk of just the reactive cards in general.
Yeah, that's sort of been a theme of what we've seen today is people drawing the card, the narrow reactive card, and not
getting buried by Liliana and Karn with a Grudge or whatever in your hand. Yeah, stuff like that.
I mean, that is the danger of those cards, but at the same time, particularly playing a deck like Green Red Aggro, which is very linear in terms of what it's actually able to do. You play dudes and you attack with them. That's what your deck does. Yeah. And if your opponent has cards in their deck that can basically nullify your ability to defeat them by attacking them, you need to do something about it. Granted, he does have sort of Feast and Famine. He has 1 copy in his sideboard, 1 copy in his main deck, so that can give him ways to break through those Batterskull tokens. So maybe he just sticks with the all-out offense.
So both players are keeping their 7. And no turn 1 play from Seyssel. Darkslick Shores.
I'm guessing he probably has
Zenith for
here.
1.
That's
not a very fast start here.
That's not really what you want to be doing with your Zeniths against blue-black. Like, unless he's casting Thrun next turn, in which case, awesome.
Yeah.
But you really want to have pressure that's the point of the game. I can't see his hand. Kornacki is just saying go.
As he is wont to do.
Yeah, and I believe there is a Thrun.
And he's got a Thrun and a Hellrider.
So, Thrun Dog Millionaire, as he's known.
Still not laughing at that one, man.
So Thrun comes down, and now Jonathan's just in trouble.
Yes.
Like Thrun is one of the cards that is particularly difficult for blue-black to deal with. Jonathan doesn't really have all that many ways to deal with Thrun. He has a couple of Blacks on Zenith, he has a couple of Lilianas. He doesn't have any Tribute to Hungers, which is one of the best ways to actually deal with Thrun. Because you're able to use your removal to kill their other creatures, then use Tribute to kill the Thrun and get the life back. The life's the big deal. Oh, Wolf Run. Wolf Run Thrun is just gross. It looks like he's going to cast. I don't think I agree with this. I think I'd hold on to the Hellrider.
Yeah, I think you just want to jam your mana into Thrun.
You just want to Thrun Wolf Run in.
Yeah, I don't think you want...
Oh, well, it resolves, so Jonathan is getting crushed.
Kornacki kept a hand that I guess can best be described as speculative.
Yeah, I don't really see anything that does anything in his hand. I see a Snapcaster Mage, but he's getting... Yeah, the Snapcaster Mage is going to trade with the Elf, and then he's going to take 7 more damage, so he's down to 10 life. And he has some more land. I actually only see land. There's guy. Oh, that's a Black Sun Zenith.
Yeah.
He can Zenith for 2. But that doesn't do anything. I mean, it reduces the damage he's taking, but he's got to do what he's got to do, I guess.
He's also It also
it opens up another Zenith to clear the board, which is a big deal. But that's, I mean, he's still under serious pressure.
Yeah, and I think Seyssel has a green Zenith and a green-black sword still left over.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. That's going to close the game. Just attack with those 2 and cast Mana Barbs, and the game's over.
He's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going to 5. Yeah.
Mana Barbs. You just cast Mana Barbs, and the game is over.
Actually, can't even cast a Batter Skull.
Right. Taking his time to shuffle the deck.
Oh yeah.
Sitting back. I got those Mana Barbs. No big deal. Oh. Well, we didn't know he had no land. We didn't know he had land.
Yeah.
That actually has land, sword, Mana Barbs too.
Okay.
So now he's at 3, and you have a sword and a Thrun, and you have a Mana Barbs in play. At this point, you just show him the Mana Barbs, like.
No, you cast it.
No, you cast that.
No, you cast it.
Have some respect.
You make him stare.
There you go. The hand motion. There you go. And the other hand motion comes quickly. The scoop from Jonathan Kornacki on the back of a lot of difficult to deal with creatures and a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yurien, Seyssel,